Hi, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is DocuSign 101. So I'm going to explain what DocuSign is. Yes, I'm going to give you a general overview of what it is, but more importantly, I'm going to show you where to get your forms, get them signed, and get them turned into your market center. So I'll go through that entire process with you today as an overview. If you're here with me live, go ahead and drop those questions in the chat. I'll be happy to get those answered in real time for you. Or if they're about a different topic or I don't happen to see them, don't worry, I'll stay a couple of minutes after class and get those answered. And if you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. All right, so what is DocuSign? A DocuSign Rooms account is a special type of DocuSign account where you can get your forms for your MLS and also for your market center, and then also how to edit them, how to get signatures on them, and it all links right into your command. And so I will show you all of that today. First, let's go ahead and log into Command, and I'm going to show you where you need to either create your KW DocuSign account or connect it if you already have one and you need to get it connected. So we'll go ahead and log into Command here. Gonna zoom in for you. And then over here on the right-hand side, you would click on your name and Settings from the drop-down menu. This is your applications page. This is where third-party applications are linked to your command account. You can see DocuSign right here at the tippy top for us because these are the connected apps that are already connected to your command. It's okay if you don't see DocuSign up here for yourself right away. If it's not already connected, you could just scroll down and it may be located down here a little further for you under productivity. Okay. We're going to scroll back up. And I'm actually going to disconnect this so I can show you how to create a new one or connect your existing one. So, but this is what it looks like when it is fully connected, and it shows you the email address that it would be connected under. So I'm just going to click disconnect account and confirm disconnect. So remember when I said that the KW DocuSign Rooms account is a specific special DocuSign type account? So DocuSign does have its general account, but KW has their special version of it. And what this means is your KW DocuSign account does need to be created right from here within your command account in order to be compatible with command. So if you've previously had either a paid or free version of DocuSign that was not created from within your command account, it is most likely not compatible with command, and you may get an error when you try to connect it. If you have any questions about that or you are experiencing that issue, definitely reach out to us. We're happy to take a look and we can confirm that for you. Um, if you've been set up with us before, we usually already have created this account for you. But just in case you haven't, just in case you're jumping into command and you need to get a DocuSign account created, you can always come here to click Connect Account. And right here, it's going to auto-populate your information. And generally, your KW email will populate here as your preferred email address, but you can enter an email other than your KW email. If you have like a preferred business email, something like that, you can enter it there. The key is that email address cannot be currently associated with an existing DocuSign account. It does need to be free from any DocuSign account in order to create a new one underneath it, okay? It will cause issues if it is already with a DocuSign. So from here, you would just simply click Send Registration Email. A DocuSign invitation email would go to this account, and you would follow the steps in that email to set up your password and fully create that account. If you already have a DocuSign account like we do, we would want to get it connected to our command here in order to access it through our opportunities. So we'll go ahead and click Login here since we already have an account. Here, we would just go ahead and put the email that our account is under. So give me just one moment as I do that and click Login to DocuSign. I will say it is important to make sure that your two-step and device verifications are turned off within your DocuSign account. If you're not sure how to do that, we can send you instructions and give you a link on how to do that. And the reason being is those two-step verifications can actually cause a connection issue between your Command and DocuSign account. So what I just did there is put my password in for DocuSign, and now I'm connected. Notice that it went from being located under digital signature transactions. When we scroll up, now DocuSign is showing under our connected apps, and we see that it is currently in connected status. Okay, so that is how to either create a new DocuSign account or go ahead and get an existing account connected to your Command account. Okay, now that we've gotten that taken care of, we can move forward to your contacts. So we'll go over here to our contacts tab on the far left. It's the second icon down. And this is one way to go ahead and create an opportunity for that contact. You can simply click on the contact that you want to create the opportunity for, and you see their opportunities tab right here. I just want to show you this before we jump into the opportunities tab. But this right here, if you're within the contact, you can simply come to their opportunities tab, access an existing opportunity to jump into DocuSign, or even create a new opportunity from right here to also jump into DocuSign. So if I didn't say this clearly earlier, you do have to go through opportunities to access your DocuSign account initially. I'm going to say initially. This doesn't mean that on the fly you can't also access like your DocuSign app or the DocuSign website directly. But the initial time that you are creating your opportunity and signing into DocuSign for the very first time for a transaction, it is important to always come through your opportunities to do that, especially the first time. Okay. And I'll explain that a little further as we move along. I'll show you the problem areas. Okay. So this again, one way to jump into your opportunities, but I want to show you also through your opportunities tab over here on the left-hand side. If you're not familiar with opportunities yet, or you haven't started an opportunity, we do have a class called Opportunities and Sales Pipeline class. We do teach that every month. There are archives located on our YouTube channel. Highly recommend going and checking that out just so that you have an overview of a sales pipeline and how to get in here and create opportunities. Okay, so we're going to assume that you know opportunities, and I'm going to show you how to get into DocuSign from your opportunities. So this particular demo account has a team. We're under the team tab. I'm just going to come over here under personal and create opportunity. It depends on your team where you create your opportunities for, so make sure to speak to your rainmaker as to whether they want you to use your personal or team account. If you're a solo agent, you won't see that team tab. You'll just always start from your solo and it'll be fine. We'll go ahead and create an opportunity for today. So I'm just going to do that very quickly. Again, not going over the opportunity portion in super detail because I'm assuming that you already are familiar with that. So the opportunity type, just going to choose listing. And for client, we'll begin typing and pick our little guy here. Fill out the information that you need to, and then hit create. Now we have our opportunity created, okay? And what I'm looking to do is I want to create a DocuSign room for this opportunity. A room is just a space in your DocuSign account where you can keep all of your documents organized for this particular transaction. Think of it like a folder, okay, if you need to. but it's called a DocuSign room. And so first thing, when you're in your opportunity, go ahead and make sure that your details are filled out that you want to be filled out. Like we've already linked this to a particular contact, so we have our contact's information, and you can see that here, contact name, and his name is right here. Okay. Also, if it is a listing opportunity, you can go ahead and link it to the listing right here, and that way the listing details will also pull into your DocuSign room and you won't have to fill them out later. So we'll go ahead and select a listing. We're choosing all listings instead of just my listings. You can search for them by MLS or street name. For today, I'm just going to pull an active listing. So I'll go ahead and make my status for sale and scroll down. Hoping for one that had a photo really quick, just so you can see, although it doesn't really make a difference. All right, we'll just go ahead and grab an active. There we go. So we went ahead and grabbed this particular listing. Now you can see it linked up here at the top, and our property details went ahead and automatically updated with that information. It just saves you a little bit of time, okay? So we come down, you can fill out the rest of this information with the little pencils that you see in the top right-hand corner if you have any further information that you want to update. Okay, we're going to scroll back up. Now that our details are done, we have our contact linked. It's a listing, so I went ahead and linked it to that property. Now we can move over to our Documents tab right here. Now, this is where your documents will live. This is where you will end up accessing a DocuSign through your opportunity. And this is also the same place that you will submit your documents to your market center for compliance. I'm going to show you that step by step today. I just wanted you to be familiar that this is where you're looking to come for all of those activities. Now that we're here on our documents, we would come over here to the left-hand side and actually choose a different folder or a different checklist, excuse me. Now, this particular market center only has one checklist available for listings, and that is residential. Your market center may have different checklists when you choose this. So you may come here and look for one that's land or commercial or rental. It just depends. Each market center will be different with their checklist, so you may see something different here, okay? You need to particularly select your checklist first before you will see what you're seeing on my screen. Since this market center only has one, it looks like it was auto-selected for us, and that's why we're able to see the different documents already listed over here. Notice that this particular checklist has 3 different tabs basically. So we have listed. That means these are the documents that you will need once that property is listed. Under contract, when we click that, our documents change over here. And now these are the documents we need to turn into our market center once we have this property under contract. Same with closed. Once it is closed, notice once I clicked on that, the documents change over here to the right. And now these are the documents that I need to submit to my market center now that the property is closed. Okay, so we're just going to go back up to listed to start there for today. Just to give you a general navigation of this, I can come over here and just scroll down a little bit, and it does show you which forms are required. Conditional should have, yep, some optionals listed right here as well. Okay, so required means you have to have these turned in for compliance. You would have to put a file here. Conditional means based on that type of transaction, that form may or may not be needed. And then optional, if you want to add this or has had a specific situation where you would need one of these, you can always add them if you would like, but they're not necessarily required. Okay, we'll scroll up. And so now that we see that we have forms that we need to get signed, now that we have this listing opportunity, I'm going to show you how to get started in that DocuSign room and get it created. We will visit this again when I show you what to do once we have our forms signed, okay? Over here on the top right, start a transaction. This is where you would start that transaction in DocuSign. Real quick, before I click this, notice that my ability to add a form to submit to my market center is only giving me the option to add a form directly from my computer. Once we start that transaction with DocuSign and we have that DocuSign room created that I'm fixing to show you, this will update and show you DocuSign as an option to add files, and you will be able to add signed documents that are in your DocuSign room directly into Command. Remember when I said earlier that it was important to have a DocuSign account that is compatible with Command? Having it linked to your Command provides you this convenience where you can actually take those forms directly from your DocuSign account and bring them right into your opportunity here directly. If you are working out of a DocuSign account that is not compatible with Command and you do not have it linked, you would actually have to manually download forms from that DocuSign account and manually upload them here within your Command. So it saves you some steps, okay? Just wanted to point that out. We'll go ahead and click Start a Transaction. Now we have .loop and DocuSign linked to our Command account, so we will just choose DocuSign. In a perfect world, this will open DocuSign in a new tab. It's taken it just a second. It does not typically take this long. And my pop-up was blocked. I don't know if y'all saw that scroll up here at the top, but pop-ups were blocked for this page. So I'm just going to go ahead and allow all pop-ups and click done. So again, in a perfect world, DocuSign would have immediately opened on a new tab, but if your browser has pop-ups blocked, you may have seen just what happened just now. So it was blocked. It didn't open DocuSign for us, but it did let us see that we've already started that transaction. And now notice that our options to choose files to upload come from Command now to, or DocuSign as well, like I was telling you. And now it says go to transaction, which is an indicator to you that you've already started that DocuSign room. Okay, so now that our pop-ups are unblocked, I'm going to choose go to transaction and it should open DocuSign here in a new tab for us. Depending on how long it has been since you've logged into your DocuSign account, it may prompt you to log in again here, even though you've linked it to your Command. So just know every now and again, it may ask you to log in to DocuSign directly. So here we are. This is a DocuSign room. I'm going to give you a general overview just to give you some orientation of what you're looking at here. But then I'm going to show you how to actually access your forms, edit them, and get them signed, okay? So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little closer. So first things first, the DocuSign account itself, you have large tabs up here. And then within the room itself, notice we have some different tabs within the room itself. So let me go over the general DocuSign account tabs first. You do have a dashboard located right here. Think of these like the command dashboard or command home that you have that will have quick links. I'm glad this popped up because I can show you this. So whenever you first create your DocuSign and log into it, it may want to link to your command and it just wants you to authorize that link. So if you do get this pop up and you're unsure if you had linked that DocuSign account to your command, you can always click authorize. It will open command in a new tab, show you that applications page we were under before, and just shows you again that it is currently connected and you're good to go. Okay. So if you've been in and out of your DocuSign a couple of times, you probably won't see this, and you can always click X if you don't need it. All right, so back to dashboard, general links here, okay? Then you have your rooms, which again are specific to your transactions. These should mirror your opportunities within your command. If you have an opportunity, you will have a room that matches that opportunity once you start that transaction. Latricia, will you tell me what part that you had not seen before? Was it the part where I was authorizing or connecting DocuSign? Just let me know about which specific thing that I just clicked on, and I can tell you how to do that. Okay. So rooms right here, again, general overview. If you want to click rooms and jump in from here, okay, you can. Inbox, you can email forms directly into your DocuSign account, okay? I will show you this. Your email address within DocuSign is right here to the top left. You should see it located right here. Again, if you're working in your email, maybe you were sent documents from the other agent and you want to get them into your DocuSign room so you can get them signed for your clients. You can go ahead and email your documents to this email address, and it will put them right in here to your inbox, and then you can move them into a room. Okay. How did I get here where I'm at, Latricia? I'm going to click back on my command tab. We're in an opportunity. We're under the documents tab, and we clicked go to transaction or start transaction, whichever one it says here for you. And that's how it will open up DocuSign for you in a new tab. And we're just in our DocuSign account now. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you had any others. So this is where those files will come when you inbox yourself. You can adjust what this email is, at least for the first little part of it before the @ sign. If you ever want to do that, you would simply come over to your name in the top right-hand corner and go to preferences, and you can adjust that email back there, okay? Next, my documents. These are just all the forms you have access to. If you've already linked to your Market Center forms or your MLS/board forms, they live all back here. You can come back here and actually create templates for different forms. If you constantly enter the same information on the same form all the time, you can create your own templates. And you can access packets of forms that your Market Center makes for you. Like they'll put a group of forms into one folder or one packet called like the traditional listing, short sale listing, and so on. These will look different for every single Market Center, okay? You can even create your own packet right here. If there is a group of forms that you constantly use for the same type of transaction, something that's consistent in your business, and you just want to add that shortcut, you can always come here and begin new packet and make your own little folder of like 5 forms, 4 forms, and so on. Okay. But these live back here. You probably won't visit this tab a whole bunch, but it's here if you need it. Okay. So I'm going to show you now that I gave you the big overview in general direction here. I actually want to show you where to access your forms and make sure they're connected to your DocuSign account the first time you log in or one of the first times that you log in to make sure that you have access, especially if you've clicked on your documents tab like you're seeing on my screen and you don't see any forms here yet. That is a good indicator that you need to go ahead and add the forms access into your DocuSign account. If we set you up with Scott Leroy, we've already done this for you, no worries, more than likely. If you had to complete your DocuSign invitation yourself, chances are you need to have this done. So I'll go ahead and show you now where to make sure those forms are pulled in for you, and then we'll jump into a room and go through it step by step. So over here on the top right, for your name, you would go to Preferences. From here, I'm just letting it load here for a second. There we go. And then from here, you would actually go to Integrations over here on the bottom left. Now, most places, most market centers provide forms through DocuSign now. And if you have come in here and you do not see company forms connected, you can do that by clicking Add Provider and choosing Continue to Company Forms without validation. It's right here in the bottom right-hand corner. It's blue and is a link if you haven't already done it. Okay, so you can click right here for company forms. This window will go away and you should see company forms listed here as already integrated into your DocuSign account. Company forms are going to be your market center forms. In some areas, your MLS board will provide forms through your market center, and this may be all that you need. However, 99% of the time, the board forms are going to need to be added as well and integrated to your DocuSign account. You would do that by clicking Add Provider, and you would choose which one is applicable to you. Generally, you can choose the National Association of Realtors right here, which will pretty much cover everybody, but you do have some that are one-offs like Texas, Georgia, Northwest, California, and also Oregon. So once you choose whichever one is specific to you, I'll choose National Associations, which will give you the most general overview. They pretty much all look the same here. They may have a couple of different fields, but the first thing you would enter is your NRDS number, NRDS number. It is now called an M1 number. So if you're more familiar with that, it's the same thing. It's 9 digits. It's an identification number that the National Association of Realtors identifies you with. If you're unsure of what that number is for yourself, you can always click Find Your Member ID. I'm going to show you this so you know how to look it up. It will open a new tab up here. And this allows you to find your NRDS number. You can enter your last name or email, or you can enter your last name and your real estate license number. Once you do that and click Submit, it will do one of two things. It will either give you your NRDS number, and you can simply click on it, copy, and we'll take it back over to our other tab to paste it. Or you're going to get a red square that says the information you entered does not match their records and you'll need to reach out to them. It does give you their phone number and email just in case, okay? Let's assume you've got your NRDS number. We'll close that tab and you would just enter it right here. You would enter your last name and it does need to exactly match your real estate license. This is really persnickety, guys. Down to like hyphens, periods, middle initials, whatever it is that is your last name, it will need to match exactly to your real estate license. Then you would choose your associations from the drop down here. And once you've filled in those 3 fields, you would click Validate. Once you choose Validate, one of 2 things will happen. You'll either get a green banner at the top saying it's done and it is successful, or you would get a red banner saying it was not successful and they were unable to validate the credentials that you entered. If it's not able to add them, first step, you can always reach out to us and we can double check this for you and look it up and see what's going on. But more than likely, somebody out of the National Association of Realtors, your state, and your local MLS board, somewhere between those 3 entities, somebody does not have the same matching information, and it really can come down to a middle initial, or the spelling of your name, or which license is primary or secondary for you, just different things. So then it would be up to you to contact those entities and make sure that they all have matching information, everything is as it should be, and then come back and try to add your NRDS number again, okay? A little bit of a headache, but it would have to be done for you to access your forms. So let's assume that everything was great. You got the green banner. it connected well. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that window, and it would bring you back to this screen. And above company forms, it would actually show that now you have your NAR forms available to you as well, and would show another entry right here above it. That is how you would connect not only your Market Center forms, but also your MLS forms as well. In some cases, MLS does share their forms through zip forms in some locations, like California is one of those that uses zip forms. You can link zip forms to your DocuSign account right here. You would simply click on the blue arrow, enter your username and your password, and click Save. Okay, I'm going to cancel out of that window. And now that I've shown you how to make sure that your forms are integrated into your DocuSign, let's go ahead, jump into a DocuSign room. Going to give you some general orientation of it, and then we'll jump into editing forms. So I'm just going to click on my Rooms tab at the top. And wait for it to load forever. It is slow as a snail today. All right. And so I think this is the one that we just created today. So we'll go ahead and click on this room because that's the one we want to work in. And from here, let's go over the tabs right here on the left-hand side first, and then we'll jump into documents. So details. Remember when we were filling out the details on the opportunity? When you created this room initially, it moved all of that information, those details, and shared it here in your DocuSign room. Okay, so you'll notice that it does have the name that we named our opportunity. Okay, and as we move on down, it will show you that MLS ID that was associated with that listing. On the right-hand side, it has who you had marked as seller. It's our little contact fake name, and it pulled in his information. As you scroll down, you'll see location information, listing details, and as you progress in your opportunity, then you will get more information like offer details, things like that. So under this details tab, if you want to update the details further, we always recommend coming back to your opportunity details right here, and updating the opportunity details on this tab first. Then you can sync over to your DocuSign room. So then it'll tell you when the last time you synced. And if you updated anything, it would tell you if you needed a sync, and you can always click sync transaction. Going back to our DocuSign details, while saying that, there are some fields here within your DocuSign Rooms details page that are not within your opportunity. Sometimes when you get into like highest bid confirmation and things like that, you can fill in information directly here on the details tab. Do not be afraid to do that. You can definitely update this manually by clicking edit in the top right-hand corner. And the information listed on this tab will auto-populate on your forms when you go to fill them out in your room. Next, I'm going to skip documents because we're fixing to come back and deep dive into this. I'm just going to show you people. And here are the people associated with your room, okay? And so if you are on a team or you have an admin that are working with you, things like this, you would see the people listed here that are associated with this transaction, okay? Next are envelopes. An envelope within DocuSign is where you have, it's like a digital envelope. You have collected the document or documents, put them in a little envelope digitally, and you have sent them out to people for either their signature or have them review them, or just so they'll have a copy of them. So envelopes are where you will see a list of those digital envelopes you have sent out, okay? They'll be listed here Once you start drafting them through the time that they're actually sent out, everybody's signed them, everybody's completed them, you will still see them listed underneath this tab if you ever need to come back and reference them, okay? Next are messages. You can connect with room members. Remember the people that are here within this DocuSign. You can message each other back and forth. We don't see this used a whole bunch. It's just an added feature. But typically, communications are done outside of DocuSign unless your team prefers to use it this way. Okay. And history. It's pretty self-explanatory. We'll show you the history of what all's done within this DocuSign room. Okay. So let's go deep dive into documents. Documents, again, is where you can access your your board and Market Center forms, and you can also upload forms from other places. Notice over here on the Add button, I can pull them from my computer. I can add them from Box, Dropbox, or even my Google Drive if you have that link to your DocuSign command. Oh, no worries. I see a question in the chat. So you're asking about my MLS ID not showing. Um, to clarify, are you talking about when we were just trying to integrate the number into DocuSign so that you can pull your forms? Or are you referencing where your MLS ID shows in command? Because your MLS ID can actually be listed or can be associated with listings not showing up. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. But yeah, just give me a little bit of clarity if you know, and I'll be happy to help. If not, I can talk to you a little bit more after class too. Yes, Latricia, this is for a listing. Yep, sure is. So you can see that up here underneath our DocuSign room name, and we already have our listing linked underneath it. Yep. And so right here from add, let me show you how to go ahead and add documents. I'm going to show you how to add them from DocuSign forms. These are the forms we just integrated that I was showing you. So I'll click DocuSign forms. And there's a couple of things to pay attention to here. On the left-hand side, your libraries. Think about a library has all the books, right? But within that library, there's different genres, so different sections and topics. So your library, that will be the whole shebang. That's all the forms for, like, right here, this is an MLS library. This will be all the forms listed. Like it could be for listing, it could be for a buyer, it could be for all the things. Okay. Library contains all the forms that they are providing. If I scroll down to another, I don't see a Market Center. There's a Market Center. So if I click on a Market Center library, then these would be all the forms provided from that Market Center. If I scroll up, these are all forms, and you can click on these and see the forms listed over here to the right, right? But for packets, remember we talked about these being little folders for specific types of transactions. Think about these as the sections inside of a library. You could have the different packets, and I'll click show more so you can see them all. There will be like traditional listing packet, and it will have all the forms that you'll need for a listing. Maybe for a traditional purchase down here, and it would be all the forms you need for a traditional purchase. These will look different for everybody depending on your Market Center and depending on your MLS. Okay. Gotcha. I'm just checking the chat again, guys. Sorry for the pause. I will, for that situation, if you're not seeing it, Badre, I would definitely reach out to us via email with your logins, and we can actually jump in and check that for you, no problem. But we would need to get into your account specifically to see why that isn't there. And if it is just needing to be added, we can help you get that added so you can see your forms, no problem. We would just need your command logins and your DocuSign logins. But that email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. Latricia, yeah, DocuSign 101 can be a little bit of a big thing because it does have so much in it. So I get it. You'll have to watch it again. Again, our archives are on YouTube. You can definitely go and pause it and walk through it. Okay. So now that we're seeing our forms, we have our packets here, our library here. We can click through and choose which ones we're looking for. You can go ahead and select them like so if you want to add them into your room. The ones you've selected here, you would just click Add Selected down at the bottom. You do have an option to preview them right here as well, and you can just click the eyeball and it will give you a quick preview of that form just so you can make sure it's the one you want to use. Do not be alarmed, it says sample. It says that when you're previewing it, but it does not mean that that will be there once you pull it into your room, okay? Lakeisha is asking, do libraries and packets only contain the required forms? Nope, it doesn't. Now, the way to tell if they're fully required, right, is over here in our opportunities and under documents in command. Remember the required field or the required notification right here, conditional label, optional label. This is how you know what's required and what's conditional, and you can actually filter that column to put all the required ones at the top so that you can go down and see, okay, I need all 6 of these for my area, and then I may need some of these depending on what my situation is, right? So you can definitely, this is going to be based on your local area with your market center, what's required, okay? But coming over here to your packets and your libraries within DocuSign, if your packets were created by your market center, in other words, you didn't make your packets, that means your market center made them for you, then they've put what they think is the pertinent documents that you need for like this type of transaction. So for traditional listing, they've put forms that you would need for every situation with a traditional listing. I hope that makes sense. But if you're checking for compliance, definitely look within your opportunities documents tab to look for that required label. All right, so you can preview the form. We'll go ahead and select it to add it into our room. Okay, we'll just grab a couple of here. I'm gonna grab ones that I think have fields that we can edit. Okay, so we'll grab these and click Add Selected. Okay, good, Lakeisha, I'm glad. And it gives us that green banner, and now we can see our documents right here within our room. Over here on the right, you do have a little bit of a preference for display. You can have the grid view like we're seeing here that lets you know the name of the document and things like that. You can choose a list view if you prefer, and you can see the name a little more clearly and see the date that you added it. It just is your preference, what you want to do. Okay, I tend to see this looks a little clearer to me and it's easier to go through and find my documents. But again, it's totally up to you guys. Now, we can also add a PDF. Remember, you can always add from your computer right here as well. Okay, you can also drag and drop. I'm going to pull up a form, my computer here that you can see, and I have a PDF listed right here. So I should be able to drag and drop this right into my DocuSign room, and you can see that uploading right there. Okay, so just a few different ways to get those forms all in here. Once our forms are in here, you can go ahead and edit them. See this one, the one that says blue, it says blue, it's blue and says form. All right. Cindy, can I repeat which part? Just let me know what you had a question about and I can do that. If it was it the adding the form or was it the part we were talking with Lakeisha about the libraries? Now that it's here, the form and it shows blue behind it, that's what we call a power form within DocuSign. That means, yeah, I'll show you how to drag the form again. So that means that when I click this form, and I'm going to click it now to show it to you on your screen, a power form means that your board or your market center has already added fields into this form. And what I mean here, you'll see how it already has the fields where I can put my cursor and begin typing, or it already has populated the details that we have put into our opportunity and it's auto-populating them on my form. That's what a power form is. A power form already has those fields pre-populated for you on your form. So all you have to do is come and click on them and fill in the information. Okay. Notice that the initials and the signatures do not have fields on them yet. I'm going to show you how to do that in the envelope when you send it for a signature. All I'm showing you here is how to edit the data on the fields, edit the data on the form, okay? So you would come in here and need to fill in these forms, kind of like you do before you present your documents to your client, right? You can go ahead of time and fill in all the forms that need to be filled in before you present them to them. That's essentially this process. For the power forms, it already has these fields added in, so you can do it right here by clicking on the form in the room and begin typing in the information that you need to add. Okay, so if I had a seller number 2, I could just put that here too. Type it in. I could come in here, adjust the city, whatever I need to do to this form, and then click Save and Close. That's how you edit a power form. And the forms that you're getting from your Market Center and your MLS, where we just added them, those are going to be your blue power forms that already have the fields added in. Now, anytime I go back and click on that form and I just click on it again and open it up, it will have saved the information that I changed on it. And I can come in here and edit as many times as I need to. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this. So save and close. And I'll just show you the difference with the generic PDF. And Cindy wanted me to show this again. So I'm just going to open up my files here on my computer. I have a separate window. It's not showing up super great white on white here, but this is just my computer files right here. I have a PDF listed on my computer. And then I can hover over my DocuSign room right here and just let go. And it'll drop that PDF right into my DocuSign room. Okay. Ooh, Carolina, that is actually a really great question. She's asking if we edit the form in the DocuSign room, will it also update in zip forms? I'm going to say no. But you would want to confirm with zip forms on that. Zip forms technically is a platform we generally do not service when it comes to, like, we can help you link it to your DocuSign and things like that. But they have their own support team within zip forms and they can confirm that for you. But I'm going to say no, because generally for your DocuSign room, you're only pulling in documents from zip form. And once they're in your room, your edits stay here in your room. And it's not like a reverse sync. It's not going to go back and update within your zip forms account, technically. You're welcome, Cindy. Yep, Joe, I'm going to answer that again here at the end of class, actually. In just a couple of minutes, let me answer that question. He's asking about the transaction list of forms, according to which transaction type you're doing it. Okay, so just real quickly, guys, finishing up the steps here within your DocuSign room. The PDF form that I drag and drop in here, notice it's red, not blue. That means it's a flat PDF. When I click on this, there's not going to be fields for me to type in information, right? Like even if there were blanks on here, now this is a generic PDF. So, but you notice there's no fields for me to actually type in information and edit and make it specific. It's because it's a flat PDF I just added from my computer. So I'm just going to click the X to X out of it. And I can edit those when I send it in my envelope. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now that I've shown you how to get your forms in here, shown you how to edit them and make them specific for this transaction, now you can actually send them for signatures by creating an envelope, or I can even add extra fields to these flat PDFs. So I'm going to grab that first one that we edited and this PDF by checking the box on the top left-hand corner. And notice I have a menu that populated right here. This menu will allow you to copy these documents, actually move them somewhere else. You can email them and that would just be a flat email, guys. It's not for signatures. The other people couldn't do anything. They just get a copy of them. You can print. You can actually combine and put them into one document. You can combine PDFs in this, or combine documents in this DocuSign room. You can create an envelope, and this is what we're fixing to do to send them for signature. You can download them to your device. You can archive, and you can even delete them if you need to, okay? So let's go ahead and choose our PIN. We're going to create that digital envelope we were talking about so that we can send it for signatures. It asks you what role you want to have added in, like who are you sending this to basically, and we'll just say seller 1 because we only had one seller on this, and we'll click continue. If you were doing a buyer opportunity or a lease opportunity, these options would be a little different. So we just hit continue. We're just waiting on it to get its life together. There we go. Okay. Sorry guys, it is a wee bit slow today. It's not typically like this. Okay. So at the top, you're going to see your documents that you've added into this envelope. At any point, you can add more, or you can come here and actually X these out and delete those if you didn't want them included in your envelope. Down below is where you add your recipients, who's going to receive it and what you want them to do with it. Now, it automatically populated our seller because we had that filled out in our details, but you can always put your cursor here, delete it, change it to somebody else. You can also click your little address book right here. It will give you a new window, and you can choose through your address book here of who you want to send this envelope to, okay? Once you've chosen your folks, click cancel. You can add a recipient as well here if you want, and you would just begin to type in their name and their email. And now you can choose what they do. They can sign. You can do all kinds of things here. Sign with a notary, do an in-person signing, just receive a copy, needs to view, which means they just need to look at it, okay? And so we'll click off of this and say that this person needs to sign, and I've decided the second guy down here, they just need to look at it. So I'm going to say needs to view for this second guy, okay? You can also change the order in which they receive these. Notice that it's set signing order. So my first guy here that needs to sign will receive it first, and the one that needs to just review it and say they saw it can do number 2. This is a great option if you're needing that other agent on the other side of the deal to acknowledge that they have received it and seen it. So you can do this, needs to view what you're sending back to them, right? Once you've set up your folks there, you can come down to add a message. You can make it a specific message individually to each person, or you can make it a general message to everyone. You would edit the subject here, edit your message here, and once you've done all of this, you can click next at the bottom right-hand corner. Oops, I didn't add a fake email for my last little guy there. Let me just use mine. Helps if you can type. Just a second. I don't know why. I'm trying to hurry, and so I'm not hitting my right keys. And then click next on the bottom right-hand corner. You can always come back to that screen if you need to. It's letting you know that there is an option now to do a scheduled send for a specific time in a future if you want. I'm going to X out of that so you can see your full screen. And from right here, guys, notice our forms are going to populate right here in front of us. Over on the left-hand side, these are your fields that you can add to this document, like checkboxes, radio buttons, texts, where you can come in here and type in different text, like adding a caveat or a correction. This is where you'd also drag and drop signature boxes. You can drag and drop your signature. We can even pull it on down to add here. You can adjust the size. and move it where you need to. Notice we're under the first person's choice right here. This is the person who we're doing signatures for, that first recipient. The second guy, we said that he was only going to view, so he's not showing as an option. If he did have something to sign as well, he would show here in a different color. Let me do that really quick. I'm going to come back and say instead of needs to view, he needs to sign, and I'm going to click done. All I chose was edit recipients, and now that I've said that he has to sign too, notice how he's showing up in blue. If I choose him, now all of my tools are in blue, and I can add his signature as well, or add different things like date signed if I needed to add that too. You would drag and drop all of your fields that you need to on these forms. And once you're done, you can come over to the send button and either choose to send now or send later. That would send these documents out to those clients via email. They would get a DocuSign email saying that they need to sign. They can follow the steps. Okay. And then, sorry, I was reading the comments. That's great. And so once you've sent your envelope, they can sign those. You'll get notifications as well when they're done. And I'm going to back out of this screen, guys, because obviously we're not going to send an envelope. So I'm just going to get out of this. Back to our DocuSign room. So let's say your forms have been signed by your person. You got confirmation that it's done. Okay. Your envelope would not show as a draft. It would actually show here as completed and signed. Now that you have your signed documents within your DocuSign account, we need to go through that step of adding them to your command opportunity to submit to your market center. It is 2 o'clock. I'm going to go over just a couple of minutes here, guys. I'm sorry about running over a little bit late, but I do want to make sure that we include this. So I'm going to go back to my opportunities over here on the top left-hand corner. We're still in the Documents tab in our opportunity. And remember, right here is where those forms have to be added. I can choose to add them from my computer manually if I want. I can drag and drop my PDF here or choose to browse my device. But the best place is to just go ahead and choose to add these from DocuSign. You'll see it update here. And now any signed document that I have in this DocuSign room will appear right here, as well as those PDFs I added. So that's what you're seeing. The forms that I drug into the room, they're populating here. So I can choose one of those. Or again, signed documents. We're not seeing those blank forms because they're not signed yet. Okay. Once it's there, and this shows that you've added a document there, once I've done that for all of these right here, I can come up and submit to MC. Once I submit it to my MC, they will let me know if it's approved or rejected and maybe needs changes. You would get a notification right here under your notification bell letting you know if it's approved or there's some issues that need to be addressed. And so you won't ever have to guess. They're going to let you know and you'll get notifications from that. You would just need to come back here and possibly, let's say, remove that file and put another one in its place if maybe your market center says that that needs to be done. Okay. It will update the status as well to let you know if it's uploaded, approved, rejected, whatever it needs to show you according to what your market center did. It will show right here as well. Okay. And that's it, guys. That's our DocuSign 101 showing you how to get to your forms, get them edited, get them signed, and then get them back to your market center for compliance. If you have any questions at all about anything we just went over, please email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. And if you're here with me live, we absolutely just stay tight. I'm going to go back through the questions that I see dropped in the chat and help get those answered for you right now. Thanks again.